Welcome to the June 10th Kettle Hills Board of Commissioners meeting. We will call this meeting to order, and if you would all please join us as we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you would please join us for a moment of silence. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. What a lovely crowd tonight. We've got some exciting topics on our agenda, so thank you. I know what a lot of you are here for, and I don't think it's the budget. But we're excited that you're here with us tonight. We're going to handle a little bit of business first as we work through our agenda, and then we'll get to some of our exciting topics under introductions and presentations. But first, I would like to call with the board a motion to approve this agenda.
So moved.
Second. Second, great, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Okay, we do have a public hearing scheduled this evening. It's our first item of business. I'm going to turn this over to our town attorney to conduct our public hearing.
Thank you, Mayor. There will be a hearing conducted tonight, public, by the Philadelphia Hills Board of Commissioners. A couple of notes here. A public notice of this hearing was published in the newspaper and posted on town bulletin boards in accordance with the statutory requirements for the subject matter. A copy of the public notice was also filed with the town clerk for entry into the official record of the hearing. The town clerk will be recording any oral comments in a concise and brief manner. Written statements shall be recorded similarly and made part of the record of the hearing and shall be submitted in full to the town clerk. If anyone elects to speak, please limit your comments to a time period of 3 minutes, unless you're speaking on behalf of a group, at which point you would be given a 5-minute exception. All speakers must come to the microphone and introduce themselves to include their address. There will be no debates amongst anybody involved in the public hearing, and again, just please identify yourself when you come forward. This public hearing will please come to order. This hearing is called for the purpose of the Philadelphia Hills Board of Commissioners to consider town manager's recommended budget for fiscal year 2019-2020. There's nobody signed up, so anyone from the audience want to speak?
Okay, discussion for the board. So in accordance with statute, we published this as the public hearing for this evening. It's up to us. If we are prepared to adopt this budget tonight, we can do so. Otherwise, we could schedule it to be at our next meeting, our second June meeting. Comments, discussion, thoughts?
I'm ready to adopt the other
I just want to thank Devi and staff again for the workshop. You really helped me understand the budget a lot more, learn more about what we're being asked for, and feel more confident about moving forward.
Well, thank you all for the budget workshop also works because of all of our input and the homework you do and the preparation ahead of time. So, well, with that, a motion, and if we're ready to take action tonight, a motion would be in order to adopt the budget for the 2019-2020 fiscal year as presented and summarized in the original budget message dated May 13th, 2019.
I'll make a motion that we approve the town manager's recommended budget for the fiscal year 2019-2020 as presented. Oh, and the consolidated fee schedule.
So the motion is to adopt the budget and the consolidated fee schedule.
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signal by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you very much. We look forward to carrying out your budget.
Okay, this will then take us to the first time set aside this evening for public comment. That's an opportunity for anyone who wishes to address the board on any topic of their choosing to do so. We do have a list that we call from. We have 4 individuals sign up to speak tonight at this public comment time. Once we call from this list, we'll also give anyone in the audience who wishes to speak an opportunity to do so if they choose. When you're called upon, if you would approach the podium and identify yourself by name and address, please. And first up, we have Betsy. I'm so sorry, I can't make out the last name. Betsy?
Brothers.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Ms. Brothers. Welcome. If you'll head to the podium for us.
Need to work on my handwriting, don't I?
It could be my eyes. That'll be my eyes. Welcome.
Thank you so much. My name is Betsy Brothers, and we have a cottage at 1211B South Virginia Dare Trail, obviously in Kill Devil Hills. And Mayor Davies and fellow commissioners, thank you for letting us speak tonight. I'm speaking in regards to the mega houses being built around where our property is. My husband's family, my husband was 9 years old when his father and mother built the house in Kill Devil Hills in 1949. We've all been there ever since. So I speak representing my family and his sister's family, and some of them are here also tonight. They have a house on the same lot. We are located just north of the Edenton colony. Some of you may know where that is. And some of the folks are here from the Edenton colony. Those houses were built in the early 40s. Beside us is a Powell property. That family built that original house in the 30s, I believe that's correct. Our house is on the historic register. Meredith Guns was kind enough to ask us to be part of that years ago, and we were real proud of that. I worked in preservation for a long, long time in Suffolk, Virginia, where our home is. And so historic preservation is dear to my heart. And I see Kill Devil Hills losing all of this. I was so proud of Kill Devil Hills when they started the register, because having been down here my whole life, I've seen drastic changes, and obviously we know that's going to happen. That's part of growth, and we understand that. However, and I understand the fact that property owners sometimes with large families, different things happen in families, and I know it's a heart-wrenching thing for these people to sell their properties. I know that for a fact, because we're 4th generation, all of us, with the people beside us selling properties on each side of us all at one time after all these years. So it's sad for them, and it's really sad for us. It wouldn't be sad for us if some wonderful cottage was going to be built, perhaps, but we understand that perhaps the mega houses, the mini hotels, have their term single-family dwellings. It's really difficult when you see them being built. Y'all know better than I what I'm talking about. Everybody I know is so opposed to it. Where our property is, it's about the 9 Mile Post. It floods often when we have lots of rain, even a lightweight hurricane. Flooding goes into the businesses and so forth and so on. You can't get down the road. I can only imagine what it's going to be when these huge houses are built on either side of us, and so you're losing all that sand. You've got to have all those umpteen parking lot spaces. So the flooding is going to be so much worse, I fear. I really don't even, I'd be sort of, I think I could say in a definite way, the flooding's going to be a lot worse. Because I've seen what has happened as the land has been filled, the more houses are being built, it gets more and more and more with all of that. We worry about the trash. We worry about the noise. We worry about, I understand that some of these houses, Saga advertises 100 people can be in some of these mega houses. So you put 100 people in a 75 or 100 foot lot, and think how many people are on those beaches, all the public services. Was that something that said, did I hear a little ding?
You did. I don't think it was that, but we do try to keep it to 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay. And I just want to say, I read your, what you wrote about Mayor Davies, about what your priorities are for KDH, and it was protecting the quality of life. fostering civic pride by enhancing the natural beauty of Kill Devil Hills, family values, beach atmosphere. I so agree with all those things you care about. I just hope y'all will take in consideration, it's very possibly too late for us. And I'm really sad that more people didn't speak up earlier who live down here and do, but we're all guilty of that. But I hope, as our commissioners, this is the first time I've ever been here in my whole life, by the way. I hope that you all, in the future, will really think hard about what's going on. We're losing Kill Devil Hills as we've ever known it before. And all it's gonna be is traffic, more pollution, more everything. So thank you so much for hearing me out, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Ms. Brothers. Next, Elizabeth Dolan. Yes, ma'am, welcome.
Hello, Mayor Davies and fellow commissioners. My name's Elizabeth Dolan, and I think my mother got over her 2 minutes, so I'm going to be brief. We're kind of all here giving different twists to the same feelings about the mega houses. This same address, 1211B, South Virginia Dare Trail. I'm a summer person. I've been a summer person since 1964, but now I can say I'm probably a homeowner. My grandparents built our cottage, as my mother said, in 1949. It's a neighborhood. We are a neighborhood of friends and families that have spent 4 generations together. We wave to each other from our porches. We let each other know when the cedar shakes are off. We're families and friends. And our plan was to turn, I'm a teacher in Virginia, plan was to turn our summer house into a permanent resident for me. We spent tens of thousands of dollars doing that and trying to, with the renovations. I'm a summer person. I've worked at Evans Crab House, Gray's Department Store, JK's, and as an adult, I've worked at Cafe Lachine Catering and catering with Ocean Boulevard. And while I was catering with those places, I saw what went on firsthand with these mega houses. I saw these venues. I heard the language. I saw what was going on, the drunkenness, the disrespect for property. I had to put my tray down once and go upstairs and ask the groomsmen not to light the Roman candles off the balconies during an east wind. They didn't know. I mean, they were just visitors. They didn't know. But I have seen this, and this is what is slated to come next door to us. It sounds like maybe it could be 20 feet from us. I'm a summer person. I don't want our neighborhood to be sliced by these commercial venues. We have a real neighborhood and a neighborhood feeling. These dwellings would be right in our kitchen windows. We would look out of our windows and not see oceans and dunes as we have for 70 years. We would see a prefabricated wall, maybe pink, maybe lavender or teal. These windows we've looked out of for 70 years. So I was looking at your mission statement for Kill Devil Hills, and I think it's wonderful. It's dedicated to enhancing the quality of life for its citizens and property owners. I'm not sure what our quality of life would be like if these mega houses are there, and the noise and the partying, and they're there for parties. This is a commercial venue. It's not residential, these houses. You value the fairness and equality in our national environments. We love that. We love that. But I'm not sure what's fair about our neighborhood being sliced with commercial venues. Where are all these people going to sit on the beach? The dunes have gotten so big now with all the sand fences. Where will the people sit on the beach? The folks that rent next door to us said that they were so sad because they love that there aren't so many people around them. The beaches aren't 3 people deep with the umbrellas. We like that. Kill Devil Hills is a wonderful place to live. Your mission statement is, and it is. It is now. It's wonderful and it's beautiful and we love it and we want it to stay that way. That your leadership, it stimulates cooperation and initiative in our community. Well, I'm asking you to please be initiative. Fight against these mega houses that are coming up in our community. Please fight against them. As my mother said, it's too late for us probably. We'd love to have cottages next door, but it doesn't look like it. So I am a summer person, but you're in a homeowner, and so are you, but I want you to think about this. Picture your home where you live right now with your children. Would you want your home to be sandwiched 20 feet from these mega houses on each side. Would you want that for your family in your neighborhood? We don't, and I really appreciate you listening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Mr. and Ms. Willard, is that right? Stephanie and Johnny, are you both speaking, or welcome?
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the board. I appreciate you allowing me to speak. My name is John Woolard Sr. I'm a resident of Outer Banks, Kill Devil Hills, for over 50 years. I own the Outer Banks Trading Post for 20 years. I'm very familiar with what goes on in this town, and I appreciate it. A lot of you I've known for quite some time. I ask you to please consider what might happen if we continue with these mega houses. I live 200 feet from where she lives, and we see the need for privacy for the people to go to the beach, and these mega houses with 100 people in them coming down there to flood the beach over. You can't imagine the problem that we're going to have. I know because I've been here and I've seen it. I just ask you to please consider, let's try to keep Kill Devil Hills the way it was to some extent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would just like to add, we are a historic house, and we have opened it every year since you've had historic houses. Last year, we had 150 people in our house. We love the Outer Banks, we love Kill Devil Hills, and I just do not want to see these mega houses all over the place because they are ruining everything for the people that have been here for ages. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We also have Martha Vaughn signed up to speak. Welcome, Ms. Vaughn.
Good evening, I'm Martha Vaughn, I live at 1217C, South Virginia Dare Trail, neighbors of the former speakers. I came to the last open forum on the same issue, and I do have a couple of follow-up questions after attending that one. I was under the impression that the board pretty much was against these mini hotels as well. There seemed to be a consensus among you. And it was explained to me, if I understood correctly, that the state mandated or dictated, if you will, coverage of lots. Is that correct? I mean, what could be put on a given 75-foot lot?
Not for lot coverage. The state has have mandates regarding, we cannot limit bedroom sizes. There's certain restrictions that we don't have the authority to impose, but lot coverage is not one of those.
Okay. I misunderstood that then. I guess to follow up on coverage and bedrooms and bathrooms and that sort of thing, is that a part of what the town dictates?
Again, we can't dictate bedrooms, the number of bedrooms. We used to, but that was taken away about 3 years ago. The state changed legislation, so we no longer could do that.
That answers everything.
Okay. So what is the limit?
We can't impose a limit at all on bedrooms, the number of bedrooms. We have no authority to do that any longer at the local municipality level.
That answers it.
And we also have to follow state building code, what's said in that, but Meredith, if you want to add to anything. Meredith Guns is our planning director for the town.
I'm here at 12.
How are you?
Good.
The building code does not allow us to limit types or number of bedrooms or rooms in general. They also don't have a building limit size for single-family dwellings at this point. So, we cannot say you can only have an 8-bedroom house. We're not allowed to.
That's it.
We can't, that's against the legislation. So, cannot limit number of bedrooms per building code.
Right.
Our zoning code controls setbacks and lot coverage. That is a town function.
Okay, I understand that, and now it's either 10 or 12 feet, depending on the size of the lot.
Yes, ma'am,
Can that be changed?
by the board, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's a town code function, yes, ma'am.
And one more quick question about septic. Do these large properties have septic on site?
The large houses that we've been seeing lately are hooking up to the private wastewater treatment facility, KDH WWTP LLC. They are not on-site septic. The lots would not support that many bedrooms for on-site septic. So the large houses that we've had lately are hooking up to a private wastewater sewage facility. It's all site.
Thank you. I just wanted to follow up on some of those questions and wondered if there was an occasion for a neutral person to come in and maybe assess what we could do going forward to limit the size of the housing? To bring in a contractor? Is that a possibility?
I don't know that you would bring in someone private to assess it. It would be by direction, that the staff has the capability to assess what's being built and to be able to report to the board the types and number of bedroom houses that are being built. We have those records.
And just as a follow-up, the board, I'd have to look back at notes to know exactly when, but the board, with assistance from staff, did a detailed study within the past 2 years. And I think we spent several meetings on this, and staff did a detailed analysis of what's out there, the properties, the number of bedrooms, how it compared, what ability, decision-making we would have to do anything. And after that analysis, the board at that time did not take any action to make any changes to our current zoning ordinances. So it would be up to the board if you want to go back and look at it again. That's kind of where it would be.
May I respond?
Yes, let me see if there's anything else, because otherwise I need to, before we get into anything, we should close, see if anyone else wants to speak at this public comment time, and then we can open it to board response to public comment. So,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak at this time, this first public comment time on any topic? Okay, then we'll close public comment and open the floor for discussion for the board.
Yeah, I just want to at least let everybody know that this isn't something new to us. We've been discussing this for 5-10 years, something like that. And we've been looking at every alternative that we possibly can to try to move the bigger houses in a different direction. You know, myself and the mayor, we've spoke before, and we've actually looked at the possibility of a third designation for these homes, and we get shot down in every direction we go to the state. They're just not going to have it. It's either single family or it's commercial. I personally think there should be a third designation, but we're getting nowhere with that. So, I don't know if some of y'all been to some of our previous meetings, but our next direction has been to go into the cottage court or cluster homes, trying to avoid the large homes, but you're still going to have a certain amount of people on that property. And I'm a property rights person. If somebody bought that property with the right to be able to put something like going down there, then unfortunately, I think that's within their rights. I'm not saying I love it, but, that's their right. The other thing we were hoping was that at some point, most of these homes are driven by the wedding industry in our area, which is huge. And we thought at some point, maybe they would get to a point where, and they may be actually, from recent discussion, that maybe they're getting to the point where there's enough of them to supply the needs of the wedding industry. And the people that want to come down with, I don't think it's 100, but 30 or 40 family members So we're hoping they're actually getting to that point where there's enough of them to go around. And the economy itself will drive the home construction in a different direction. So, and it's sad to me to hear that people have been coming here for 70 years, and this is the first time you've come to a meeting. We try everything we can to get people to attend these meetings so that we can have direct input. And I would encourage everyone to get a little bit more involved. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to move on then to our first item under introductions and presentations. And I know we have lots of young folks in the room tonight and their families, and we're really, really excited that you all took the time to be here with us this evening. I know everyone has lots of busy schedules, especially with school wrapping up. So I am going to now turn it over to Miss Sandy Markland. She is the chairperson of the annual trash attack. So Sandy, welcome.
Good evening, everyone, and aren't you kids lucky that you got to see all of this in action and you've been so patient? So now it's your turn. I am Sandy Markland. I am the chair of Trash Attack in Kill Devil Hills. For anyone who does not know, it is an annual function where we try to clean up the beach prior to the season beginning. And we enjoy tremendous support from town staff who are second to none. From our community, from our kids, and even from visitors who come and help us do this annual cleanup. One of the most important functions of Trash Attack is our annual poster contest. And you may have noticed that the hearing room looks a little different this evening. It's decorated beautifully with these incredible posters done by the youth of Kill Devil Hills. Our annual poster contest is open to all Dare County students, from kindergarten through 12th grade. And you can see a wide variety in age and talent and ideas, and we actually learn a lot from this each year. So I'm gonna stop talking now, and I'm gonna ask the mayor to join me, and we are going to present certificates to all participants, and then you will get to find out our top poster entries. They were judged by a committee of me, my co-chair, Chris Merrick, who could not be with us this evening, and Chris Sowen, who is the executive director of the Dare County Arts Council. And a member of the board asked me tonight how on earth we could pick any, and I'm telling you, it's very difficult, very difficult. So we will start with our certificates for everyone who entered. If your name is called, please come up. You're gonna get a certificate from the mayor. And shake the mayor's hand and my hand, and please stay up here with us after you get it, okay? Is Ethan Winslow here? Hey, Ethan. Can you point to your poster? That one is awesome.
Congratulations, buddy. Thank you for doing it. We're going to get you to stay up here because we're going to get a picture in a few minutes with everybody.
Hannah Westfall.
She's not here today, but we can take it to her.
Oh, thank you, Phil. Philip Smith.
Thank you.
Over there. So go over there.
You stay right up here with us. Sarah Towler. I guess Eric is not here either. Eric Towler.
Hey, Eric.
Tessa Puffer. Callie Puffer. Alexandra Nigro. Ava Nicastro. With the fish. Take that too. Felicity McKenney. Riley Gilreath. Asa Gilreath. You cannot take that poster home. Liam Bamer. Annalise Bamer. Angelina Bell. Which poster is yours, Angelina?
Clean as key.
Awesome. Emerson Glazer. Natalie Rollins. Which one?
It says clean green.
Ah, I think that was Chris Merritt's favorite one. Nolan Rollins.
Which one's yours, Nolan?
It's over there.
Which one?
It says be part of the solution, not the solution.
Oh, Nolan, I have something extra for you. Nolan is one of our honorable mentions. Congratulations. And Natalie, you are too. Jill Odell.
Mine's the make a splash.
You are so talented. Thank you so much for doing that. Lola Rubino.
Which one's yours?
Jill is our third place winner. Lola is our second place winner. And there's one left. Is Chase Davies here? Congratulations, Chase. Which one is yours?
Middle one.
Right, and is it somewhere else? Did everybody see the trash truck outside, the beautiful trash truck with the poster on it?
Yeah.
That's Chase's entry. And it's our mayor's son, which of course we had no way of knowing, but we went, oh no.
I kind of tried to say, maybe we should give him second place.
No. We all loved it. It's really clever. Take a close look at it. These are our participants and winners for 2009 Trash Attack Poster Contest. Give them a big.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandy.
Thank you.
Yeah, those two were my best. This and Ghetto. The girl
Thank you. It's a shame everybody left because they brought so much great positive energy, but I understand. It's okay. Well, thank you
Thanks,
for
Bill.
staying. Good. Okay. We will move on then to the second item this evening, under introductions and presentations, and welcome, Jenny is here with Outer Banks Sporting Events, so we're going to get an annual updated presentation, so welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I was saying in my own mind, it's hard to go after anything, I guess, with like kids and pets, clear the room cleared out. So I'll try to keep it somewhat interesting after that. And I know you have a full agenda as well, so I'll be mindful of time. But just wanted to sort of touch base and let you know how everything's going with us. This is actually for 2018 year in review. So you'll control it for me? Hidden. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Jenny, aim right here.
Yeah, really being mindful of your time, I should be.
Let me know when
All right, sounds great, thank you. Okay, so you can move to the next slide, that's just sort of my cover shot. So our mission of Outer Banks Sporting Events is a four-part one. It includes organizing and promoting sports competition and healthy living in general, and providing financial resources for needed relief and support of public education. And we also contribute to the economy of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So those four parts make what we do a well-rounded effort for all the things we embark in during the shoulder season mostly. The marathon, the first marathon that runs from Woods Road down to Manio was in 2006, and then OBSE was officially created in 2010. So I came on board as race director in 2015, and now I'm stepping into some of the executive roles and things like that as we continue forward with our mission as you see it. So in 2018, we had one event cancel, compliments of Hurricane Florence. So our numbers, as far as our participants among our four main events, but that year being 3, was 6,100 folks came and did our events. Along with their guests, we asked folks when they register for our events how many people they're going to bring with them that they predict, so we can get some idea of that economic impact. So the guests, it was 2.8 on average. So that the guests and the runners together totaled 18,000 folks over the year of 2018. And you can see a breakdown. We get some demographics just so we know what our audience is. And that's usually a little bit higher on the female side, 44% male, 56% female. Average age is steadily around that 35 to 45. And 89% were from out of town. So we usually have a pretty slight, in the big picture, mostly out of towners. And all you locals that haven't run our races, I encourage you to get out there. I always feel like I can peg some people that I see running and training but aren't running our races. So it's a good thing to get all the visitors. And 19% of them in 2018 were first-time visitors to the Outer Banks. So of course our hope is that they come back, spend more time, spend more money, and enjoy our beaches. So some of the things that we do have in terms of local engagement that we, try to enhance are that the Dare County school groups and other nonprofits in our area, they will volunteer with us, and we partner with them in terms of usually giving them a stipend and having them be able to sort of promote their group, whether it's a school group or team or a local nonprofit. We have an athlete expo, at least for the 2 major events, the Flying Pirate in April and the Outer Banks Marathon in November. And that has local vendors set up, and
sell their wares and have that audience of all of our participants from out of town come through. And that lets area businesses support us and gain exposure as well with sponsorship. We have mile marker sponsors, folks that partner with us in creating that healthy option for folks that are visiting. So in 2018, these numbers are for the county in general. That 6,100 number of the total participants that came to run with us equaled 23,000 folks with their guests throughout the year. On average, they stayed 2.6 nights is what they reported, and then, like I said, 2.8 was the average amount of folks that they brought with them. And a lot of those people are secondary audience. They may not be runners, but we always try to encourage what else they can do while they're here. So we pride ourselves on our website of information, giving folks, the green light to come on and do other things while they're here, even if they're not participating in the actual event. So we had 1,422 hotel rooms booked, and then the rental houses, they indicate which their intention is, 874 homes rented. But we only have them do the 2 and 3 bedrooms, not the mega mansions. So accommodations in total, we assign a value to each of those types of accommodations, and over the year of 2018, it's estimated that $1.7 million was spent by Outer Banks Sporting Events participants on accommodations and their guests, and then the per diem, we assume an amount that they'll spend each day when they're here for the 2.8 days. So times all those people, the accommodations and per diem combination results in $5.9 million estimated for Dare County in 2018. So part of our mission, I mentioned it was relief to local residents as well as support of local education. So the Dare Education Foundation and the Outer Banks Relief Foundation are the recipients of our proceeds after expenses and all it takes to put on the race. And so since 2010, when OBSC was officially formed, we've generated over $1 million in local funding for each of those beneficiaries. So that's something we pride ourselves on for sure. So what does that mean for Kill Devil Hills specifically, if we want to narrow in on this area? We do ask people what town they plan to stay in. And it's estimated reporting, of course, with what folks tell us and, where they eat dinner or end up getting a hotel may change. However, we had 810 participants of our group, and then their guests equal 2,268 folks stay right in Kill Devil Hills for our events. So the 3078 is their visitors, so we add the guests or the participants back in. So the $75 was guesstimated per day that they would spend on just, getting around, living and eating and all that stuff. So the 2.6 days was the average, and the 2.8 guests was the average reported. So right here in Kill Devil Hills, we had a per diem total of $600,210, and then the accommodations for the hotels and homes rented was $631,800. So that's $1.2 million for Kill Devil Hills estimated impact. So that's pretty sizable when you think about the folks that come for just 4 events throughout the year. So moving ahead into what might be feeling new, we had Band in the Sand this year for Memorial Day. We had an inaugural version of a 5K on the sand, and we had a band out there and stuff. So we're going for a little bit less competitive, not crazy about your time, but just more social and inclusive, and again, that secondary market of folks that could either walk or not feel like they had to race it. That was very popular. It was the first one, but we hope to grow it. And it also markets to the weekend visitor demographic that's already here in town for the kickoff to summer. So that was something new. We're doing a lot to get more community involvement around things that we may have already sort of done for some years, and just keep the just that good energy around the race course and everything like that. We have enhanced sponsor value and things that we do on our website that really expose everybody that's going to partner with us, blogs and stuff like that are new. So we have a new and enhanced website in general, including some of those things, so it has a new, fresh look. We're developing a VIP package add-on, so if I want to come run the marathon, but my 75-year-old mom sort of wants to come, but I don't want to have to worry about what she might be doing or where she can watch, we're going to plan some of that stuff for folks to feel more comfortable coming in addition to the runner. And then we're always exploring additional event ideas, of course. So coming up, what's next on the calendar? We have a little hiatus here, but some behind-the-scenes planning to go on for our Outer Banks Triathlon weekend. It's September 14th and 15th, and then sort of our flagship biggest event weekend is November 8th through 10 for the marathon. So they're both two-day events, so hope to see you come out, help out, run, or recruit, and be a part of what we do. So thank you so much for your time, Mayor Davies and Commissioner Board. It's always a pleasure to see what else is going on in the community, and I should probably come to more meetings too. So thank you for everything, sharing your streets. I can't say enough about Assistant Chief Harris. He's sort of the backbone of this crossing of Collington, and just is a well-oiled machine every year for me, and can't say enough about the support I feel from Kill Devil Hills. So thank you. And each year we have a local artist, and actually this year's local artist is a Kill Devil Hills resident. We have a piece of artwork that usually goes with Marathon Weekend. So in November we have a local artist paint an image, and this one is called All Roads Lead to the Beach, and it's by Gretchen Hargis, who her son is in the high school with my son, and they live in Kill Devil Hills. So hey, there's another thing to pride yourself on. But thank you very much, and we look forward to working with you more in the future.
Thank you so much, Jenny. That's great. Okay, we will move on to the third item under introductions and presentations, and welcome Cannon Metcalf. Welcome, Cannon. He's here to talk to us about the wonderful Eagle Scout project that he's done. Good evening.
Good evening. Cannon Metcalf. I'm an Eagle Scout, just became an Eagle Scout. This is my Eagle Scout project I did for the town of Kill Devil Hills, and we donated there so they could we could put them on the beach so people can read and donate books to it, and it just encourages reading and sharing like across the county. My Eagle Scout project includes the idea, the supply donation, and the construction and paint of this donation. And once the libraries are placed, they will be officially registered and sponsored on the Little Library's website. Also, the maintenance and stocking of the Little Library is through its sponsor. I would like to thank Lowe's that donated all of its supplies for the Little Libraries, and our church youth group for building and painting of it. I'm excited to present this project to the town of Kill Devil Hills, and thank you.
Ken, they are awesome. I mean, what an asset to the town. So we are so grateful that you thought of this idea and then put the effort into, getting the sponsors to help you and the church to build. I mean, they're beautiful. They're really, really nice. I think it's going to be a great asset to our town. I don't know if you're aware that we have the Little Red Mailbox in our town that was started by a citizen, and then that idea was carried. Multi-states now have the mailboxes, and we collect on Mondays the stories that are shared and left with us, and the inspirational. And it's just a gift that keeps on giving, and I can see these libraries to be in the same class. So thank you so very much. It's an awesome gift to the town.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations on becoming an Eagle Scout. That is quite an accomplishment as well. So, great, thank you. Well, we now move on to another very exciting presentation this evening, and this is the introduction to our 2019 Ocean Rescue Guards. This is always an exciting meeting in June when we get to see some familiar faces from previous seasons, as well as introduce to some new faces. So, as they're all walking in and joining us, welcome, guys and gals. We're happy to have you with us tonight.
My name's David Elder, and I'm supervisor of Ocean Rescue. We've got a little bit of a format here. I'm just going to go right to these fine people. It's a bit of an embarrassment of gifts. The Ocean Rescue staff for 2019.
Great to see everyone again. My name is Pierce Holian. I grew up around here, and this will now be my 11th season working with the town.
My name is Bree Boyovich. I grew up in Kitty Hawk, and this is my 10th season working for the town of Colorado Hills.
Hey everybody, Nathan Loudermilk from KDH. This is my 9th year working for David.
Well, guys, my name is Billy Taronis. This will be my 9th season working for KDH Ocean Rescue, and I'm looking forward to a good year.
My name is Dewey Wise. I'm from Kill Devil Hills, and this will be my 8th summer working Ocean Rescue.
Hi, my name is Trevor Tillage. I'm from Chesapeake, Virginia. This will be my 6th summer with Kill Devil Ocean Rescue.
Hello, I'm Brandon Douglas. This is my 5th summer, and I grew up in Kill Devil Hills.
Hi, I'm Abby Jones. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and this is my 3rd year.
Hi, my name is Connor Hay. I'm from Springfield, Virginia, and this is my 4th summer working.
My name is Brock Robertson. I'm from Camden, and this is my 4th summer.
How's it going? I'm Sam Fitzgerald. I live here in Kill Devil Hills, and this is my 2nd year for Kill Devil Hills Ocean Rescue.
Hi, I'm Suki. I grew up in Duck, and this will be my 2nd summer.
She's had a long day.
I'm Caitlin. I'm from Worcester, Ohio, and this is my 2nd year.
My name is Jake Landell. This is my 2nd season working for KDH, and I'm from Galex, Virginia.
I'm Joe Davidson. This is my 2nd year working for KDH, and I'm also from KDH.
I'm Chris Moore. This is my 2nd year, and I'm from Calvert County, Maryland.
My name is Marcus. I'm from Mania, and this is my 2nd season. Andre Ramirez from Chicago, Illinois. This is my 2nd season. KDH.
My name is Aiden Nay. This is my 2nd year, and I'm from Philadelphia.
Hi, I'm Coleman Flynn. This is my 3rd year working Ocean Rescue, first with KDH. I'm from Greenfield.
I'm Maddie Wagner. This is my 1st year working Ocean Rescue. I'm from Colorado Hills.
I'm Colin McNeil. This is my 1st year from Kill Devil Hills.
I'm Noel McGuire. I'm from Pittsburgh, and this is my 1st year. My name is Ashley Forrest. I'm from Kitty Hawk, and this is my 1st year. My name is Caitlin Hales, and I'm from Kill Devil Hills, and this is my 1st year.
My name is Reggie Kelly. I'm from Camden County. This is my 1st year.
Good evening. Honorable Mayor Davies, Board Commissioners. This is a pretty special year for us. We switched our training. First, I'm sorry. My name is Benjamin Battle, Assistant Ocean Rescue Supervisor. These guys really do need the commendation this summer for the large effort they put into training. We put in a lot of hours, and a lot of them are very sunburnt this year, and they really do enjoy working for this town, and they really do enjoy your support, as well as David and I. I appreciate the opportunity to introduce a new piece of technology that we've got here for the town. The QR code on the tide chart this year is something that any person on the beach can scan with their phone. It will instantly take them to our Facebook page, our new Facebook page. It's called Kill Devil Hills Ocean Rescue Beach Conditions. Basically, it is what it says it is. It's going to have everything from the tides to the weather, the water temp, and it's a pretty cool new piece that we've got this year. With that, I'll introduce David Elder.
So one of the impetus behind the QR code is these guys do a great job at what they do, which is rescue. We also have realized over time that the best thing we can do is prevent issues from becoming issues and people from entering into the world of statistics. They do a great job of prevention. But the more we can front load people, the support of the town, working on the rip current model with NOAA over the years, and this is kind of the rest of it. We're looking toward just kind of creating a little bit more of a total safety package for our visitors. All visitors to the beach, whether they're from here, from far away, we want them coming back and coming back happy. We are still within, we've got the great statistic that I'm very, very proud of. Less than 1% of the people that we rescued last year needed any kind of emergency medical assistance. that this year we are off to a pretty good start. It's been a little bit busy. We've had some pretty decent weather. We had an early spring. Everybody knows that May came very early and hit us hard. We had a lot of people, a lot of visitors on the beach. These guys, when they came to work, 4 minutes into the season, we were in the water. And it's been not busy, but steady. And there's a lot of sandbar action out there. There are a lot of rip currents. The staff is always, very happy for your support, and we're happy to do what we do. And and thank you very much for the handicapped access. It's a rare day that there isn't somebody out there. It is a rare day that there aren't 3 different people out there. And it puts a smile on their face, and we're glad to help them any way we can. It's one of these things, any rollout like that is going to require a lot of information, and the information is coming. It's a very uncommon morning where we don't get a handful of calls and a lot more people who are very interested. And the outreach is being very, very graciously appreciated by our visitors. They are overjoyed for the opportunity, and these guys are here to help as we need. If there's any questions or any bits of information that I can try to fill in, I'm glad to.
I have a quick question. Have you had many visitors come to town specifically to take advantage of the ramp and tell you that, hey, I came to Kill Devil Hills just because I saw you guys have this ramp?
As soon as the Facebook posting went up, that very next day, there were a steady stream of people from Chesapeake, from Virginia, from up across the bridge in Currituck, coming down, seeing what it was like, checking out what the options are so that they would know how arduous, how long the walkover was, what was actually there. And the beach wheelchairs are greatly appreciated, but the number of times that we have people with their handy-capable chairs rolling all the way out to the end, setting up with their family around them, right beside the mat, having a day of it, getting nice and sunburned and nice and cooked like we all are right now, and then rolling back off the beach with a big grin on their face. There's a lot of conversation, a lot of people trying to find out what the options are, and it's a great program. I see all of the issues that we thought we might have really not materialized. The people are so appreciative that I see no obstacles.
Wonderful.
First of all, great job, ladies and gentlemen. I got one question for you, Dave. Have you noticed any effect from the beach nourishment as far as the bars and the troughs go?
Immediately after the beach nourishment finished, we got hit with a pretty whomper of the storm, and William Taronis and I spent about 4 hours in the middle of the night retrieving lifeguard stands that had been moved around. It was a long evening. Last year, we had no sandbar. If you know anybody that's a surfer, they did not surf in Kill Devil Hills largely last year. And because there was no sandbar, there really weren't any rip currents. It was one of the quieter years that we'd had for rescues. Now, we stayed busy doing what we do, which is assisting people on and off the beach, and with all the other issues there. But rip currents were really down in our numbers. A high year in the past might have been in the 700s. Last year, we were in the 200 area for rescues. That being said, we are already,
We've had around 40 to 50 already.
I've been in the water 4 times myself, I'm very happy to say, and smiles on everybody's face. I don't go in the water that much at my stately age, but these guys do most of the work for me, but I'm glad to carry the water when I have to. But those numbers are up as compared to years past. Suki went in for somebody 4 minutes into the year this year, so we hit the ground running. Typically this early in the season, also, we normally don't have water this warm, and the water has been widely variable with conditions, so that's also made the water very inviting. There's also a lot of interest from the media because of the access And I've used a little bit of that, and I've twisted a few arms, and they're gonna come back and help us with some safety information as well. So,
Great. Thank you, Nate.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I appreciate the effort that's been made about getting the PSAs out, about rip currents and so forth. I talked with Devi, and I know that she orchestrated getting some of those out. It's just, I wanted to make the comment that every week we have a changeover, and we have to make every effort that we can to make sure that we reach all the new people coming in, checking in, and get as much public awareness as we can as to the dangers of rip currents and so forth. So thank y'all. You did a great job on getting the information out there. We just need to make sure it reoccurs.
One of the touchstones that I've had this year that I've made with many of the staff is this job is about relationships. Every single person who walks out on the beach that can identify with these lovely faces in front of you, that's a relationship. And they'll remember their name, and they will remind me of it next year, and they keep telling me how many years I've been doing this. So this is a very personal job to all these people and to all of our patrons as well. So thank you.
Well, thank you all so much. We look forward to a wonderful summer, and you certainly make our summer in Killable Hills much better and much safer, and so we appreciate it's a hard job. I started as a lifeguard when I was 15 at the YMCA, and that was my first career for years. So I have such respect for what you do, and in the ocean, it just takes it to a whole nother level. So thank you in advance for the tremendous work that you'll do for us this summer. And we look forward to seeing you on the beach. I know my little guys are here, and they were on the beach earlier today and probably be back, well, maybe not tomorrow, we're calling for rain. But anyway, thank you so much for what you do for our town and our guests, and we appreciate it. And as a follow-up to Commissioner Gray's comments on rip current, we do have a proclamation that we would like to adopt tonight, declaring June as Rip Current Awareness Month in Killable Hills. And I would call on the board for a motion to adopt that proclamation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
I think now you're supposed to go.
Have a seat and stay, right. We're used to people leaving. Sure.
I'm making sure all of them are registered to vote, so just I'm working on mine. Yeah, it's very important.
They're heading out the door, but I should have mentioned it while they're standing here. I know they're heading out the door.
Sure. I'll be glad to.
Well, I did want to mention that you talked about all the training that you've been doing, and our KDH Ocean Rescue Division has just recently completed the requirements for the United States Lifeguard or Life Saving Association Lifeguard Agency Certification or Certificate Program. So that's a big achievement. If you'd like to comment about that.
We have maintained and have now been renewed for another 3 years the advanced open water status. So each one of these lifeguards has their medical training is advanced emergency medical responder, which is a slight change over the recent past. They undergo the regular lifeguard training as well as CPR as well. And since it was the first year for this new training regime, it was not seamless, but we have figured it all out, and every year we're getting better at it. But it's a good crew of people. The goals are always the same. The staff, the names change, but the rest is pretty much the same. Good guys, good girls, and the level of returning staff is incredibly impressive for me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear 9 and 30+ years.
Great job, Devi.
Thank you for your work, David. One other thing under introductions and presentations, Chief Tilley is here. A special thanks to our fire department, which participated in a statewide smoke alarm canvas program back on June 1st. This is the second year that our fire department has participated in this program where they visit homes in our community and check on smoke alarms. They replace old batteries and even install new units. This year, we checked 35 homes, 11 new smoke alarms were installed, and batteries were replaced in 6 units. So it's really a fantastic outreach effort that our fire department does. So thank you, Chief, and your firefighters for keeping our community safe. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Chief. It's a pleasure.
With that, we will move on to new business. We have one item this evening. It's the proposed amendment to Chapter 130, General Offenses, Smoking in and on Municipal Facilities. And I'll turn it over to Debbie.
Yes, ma'am. This amendment is to address the issue of e-cigarettes and vaping products. These were not included in our ordinance. The ordinance was a little outdated, and we simply had added these items that are not allowed.
Comments, questions?
I have a quick question. On page 5, is this the sign that will be hung around town? Yes? Pretty good.
Right, so that they,
Really kind of encompasses everything.
Short and sweet, to the point.
Yep.
Everyone okay with any questions or comments? Okay, a motion would be in order to make these changes.
All right. I'll make a motion that we approve the changes to amendment to Chapter 130, General Offenses, Smoking in and on Municipal Facilities as presented.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll say.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signal saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, thank you. Okay, we will move on then to committee reports. Any committee reports this evening?
A few things to share from committee reports. I haven't checked all the beach accesses recently. I know we have the cigarette receptacles installed, but have any of the signs above the receptacles been put into place yet? I was just curious, because I used to make an effort to kind of check a few here and there and see if any of those, but an actual sign on top. Have any of, does that step come to fruition?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part of your question.
Like, on the demo receptacle that we use in our meetings, there's that nice little sign above it. Have any of those signs been installed at the beach accesses
Yes.
to identify the receptacle?
You're talking about cigarette butt receptacle.
Yeah, the sign for it, that's what I wanted to know.
Yes.
Okay, very good. I don't know if anybody, is these a way to measure usage of them yet? Have any of them been serviced yet? Has there been any data collected on? I know it's early in the game, but
I'll be happy to check into that.
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm curious to know if the people really understand what it is and are making a point to utilize it or not. It's a tough thing to quantify, but certainly interested in that. And I'd like to announce that our next Community Appearance Commission meeting is scheduled June 27th, 8:30 in the morning in here. Neighborhood Watch meeting, June 20th, correct, Colleen?
Yep.
6:30?
6:30.
6:30. And I know the email went out today, but anybody interested at all, wink wink, please consider applying for the West Side Recreational Group. The deadline is June 14th, fast approaching, and I hope we get a lot of quality applicants for that.
Actually, today was just one more shot. It's gone out before.
Oh, yeah, it has, but, yeah, that's all I have for committee reports.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything? Okay, we'll move on to Commissioner's agenda. Commissioner Gray.
The only thing I had, I wanted to bring up, John already mentioned about the, getting people to sign up for the recreation. Nice little flyer. It's a good opportunity to serve the town and would help us tremendously. That's all I have.
Thank you.
I
good deal, y'all. The artwork on that was nice. Yeah, I was looking at my package before I left it at home. But, the other thing was, I'm probably repeating myself, but new sidewalks are tremendous down by Belts and all that. I mean, it's just, it's been a while, we've been waiting for that, but it was worth the wait. I used them on my bicycle the other day, and it's just great. And I see so many kids on them now. It's right in time for summertime too, so it's, I love it. That's it.
A few things, this is a little off subject, but I would just like to thank, Chief Jeannie Collins and paramedic Brooke Atwell Rusk. Last Monday, super short notice, I emailed Jeannie and asked if she could have someone from emergency services present to our Cub Scouts PAC meeting. She got someone there the next night. What I asked to be a 20 to 30 minute presentation turned out to be a 90-minute presentation, and then because of her time with the boys, 3 of our Weeblos earned their life-saving patches. So thank you, Jeannie and team. Very awesome. I had the pleasure Saturday morning of attending the Tiny Home Festival. Really, I thought it was fascinating, really fun to look at all those little houses. And personally, I don't think my family could fit in one, but it was a lot of fun. When we seen them on TV, we learned about on social media, but actually be inside of them and talk to people who do live in them was very interesting and educational. And I'd like to thank the Chamber for hosting that event. Last thing, I'll be remorseful if I didn't take a second to congratulate Commissioner Terry Gray for winning the 2019 Dare County Citizen of the Year. Well done, sir.
Thank you. A lot more people deserve it than I.
Yeah, I was at the Tiny Home Festival too, and the houses fit me. So.
That's your retirement home?
No, it was really fun. They do expect it to get bigger next year. I guess it's catching on. So, and their motto is it's going to be huge. So. No, it was really good. I was really impressed. John and I talked with John briefly while we were there. And we stayed for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and by the time we left, it was really getting crowded there. It was a lot of fun. You hope to see more of that. No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Just a couple things under Mayor's agenda. One, wanted to give you the Paws Park update. Such a cute name. That's the Paws, P-A-W-S, is the name of our new dog park that's getting ready to open up. In fact, we'll be doing the grand opening celebration on Tuesday, June 25th at 5:30. Staff is so creative. It's going to be a potty. It's a really cute flyer. But if you don't have it on your calendar, please put it on there. If you are a dog-loving type person, if not, then it might not be your cup of tea. But we'll have the ribbon cutting. We'll have hot dogs, chips, and drinks. The KDH Police Department will be out there doing a canine demonstration. That will be exciting. You can get rabies vaccines that night with cash or check to cover that. You can get your dog license if you don't already have that. We're also going to have special one-of-a-kind t-shirts celebrating Paws Park. There's an opportunity to do some paw print art with your special pup, take pictures with your pup, and some special treats are being prepared for that evening as well for the puppies. So thank you to staff for all the hard work that you all have been putting into this very special event. So it's going to be a nice fun night. So again, that's Tuesday, June 25th at 5:30. Also, if you found in your seat a black goodie bag, this is part of our Community Appearance Commission's Bag Smarter campaign. If not, I think we have extras over against the wall if you would like one before you leave, if there wasn't one in your seat. But lots of goodies in there, information about Paws Park, visitor tips, the West Side Recreation Group that we've announced, trying to encourage people to sign up to participate in that, some safety bracelets, and a 2019 tide chart. So lots of great information in there. So please make sure you grab one on your way out. And then if you didn't get one, shame on you for not coming to the meeting. This was kind of an encouragement for being here, but maybe you can contact Town Hall to get some of the information. So And that is all I have this evening. We go on to town manager's agenda.
I'd like to thank the board for the adoption of the budget this evening, and all of the hard work that the board did put in to the working with the staff of the budget. And as always, the hard work that the finance department and all the department heads and members of the different departments did. It's, they make it a lot easier for me. So thank you very much.
Great team, great team.
Y'all make it easier for us. We had a lot of work, but y'all did a tremendous amount.
Thank you. Okay, town attorney's agenda.
Not for me, Mayor.
Debbie, the consent agenda.
Yes, ma'am. I have 3 items on the consent agenda this evening. The first is minutes from the May 13th and May 20th, 2019 meeting, the April 2019 report. And in speaking of the dog park T-shirts, we did not have a total in time for it to be added to the fee schedule in the budget that you just currently adopted. So we do have that amount now. We hope to sell them for $14.99, and then with tax would be $16. The proposal that we have is to record the sales money in the same account that it was taken from, which is special events, and then we would be able to continue to order additional T-shirts without needing to do any kind of transfers. And your approval of the consent agenda this evening will approve the amount and the concept, and recommend approval of consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Is there a motion for consent agenda? Second.
Second.
Great. Any discussion?
Any preliminary design for the t-shirt yet?
The T-shirts will be rolled out at the party.
Oh,
It's a surprise.
the waiting suspense.
I can imagine it's gonna be cute with all the play on words that's
Cash or checks,
please. Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So we are now back to the second time set aside this evening for public comment. If there's anyone who wishes to speak at this public comment time, just raise your hand and we'll welcome you to the podium. Is there anyone that wishes to speak? Chase, I see you raise your hand, but you're not wanting to speak, I'm guessing. Okay. Anyone else? All right, anything from the group tonight before we adjourn? A motion?
Mention one thing.
Yes, please do.
There's a pretty good article in the magazine that was received in the back. Southern City for affordable housing. I don't know if anybody's read it, but it describes some of the issues, same issues that we're looking at, but it's statewide. So it's fairly informative.
Yeah, it is. It's a great article, and I was gonna say, if anyone that's listening wants, we can always get a copy and get it on the website or social media. Okay, a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks, everybody.